So I don't know if you saw, but Caleb Williams still playing to the Heisman caliber.
Okay.
Drake Maye is not playing to the
Playing
Heisman
better.
caliber. Ha.
Playing
And
better.
playing, I guess. And then Washington is not looking like they're going to win the Pac-12. But overall, we just want to welcome you to Over and Under podcast. We're going to take you through a roller coaster today with these games that happen. James, it was an interesting weekend, I must say. Just to say the least for me, it rained every day at work for me, so I've been soaked for like the last 72 hours. Feet
Bro,
soaked,
I've
rain
been
boots
big
didn't
chilling.
work. Must be nice not to work at night, but
I don't work on weekends, bro. That's the thing. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I'm off every other weekend, so this weekend was my weekend on, so it was tough.
Oh, you know what? They did
But
ask me to work this weekend though, but I said no, sir. Nah, I ain't doing that.
brother said, "Nah, I'm not getting extra."
That ain't for me. Not this weekend. Maybe not next weekend either. Better just not ask me.
Well, let's get into last week because we made some picks and some of them went well, some of them didn't. Overall, the stats from last week, we got James coming in as 9-1.
I do this, everybody. I do this.
And I'm coming in as 7-3. It wasn't a good week for me as James leads. I just don't know what happened to me this week, but
You didn't pick good. That's what happened.
I mean, I guess so, but
Hey, I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't pick
Well,
well, but I just felt like, to be honest with you, I'm like, man, I've been watching college football. I think Pitt can pull it through. I think Oregon's gonna go into Utah. Utah hasn't lost a home game in like what since the COVID era. So I'm like, I'm feeling good on this, right? I'm feeling pretty nice. Absolutely not. I guess the rain that dropped on me earlier that week gave me some type of illusion because there's no way those teams win in those games.
I mean, I picked good, but I just didn't the scores of them. I just didn't pick well. Like I thought BYU and Texas was going to be super close. I thought Utah and Oregon was going to be close. I thought Pitt was going to give Notre Dame a game. I still picked well, but the games just didn't go with how I picked. Either way, a win's a win. I'll take it. Whatever.
A win is a win, but let's deep dive into these games. Let's talk about Tennessee and Kentucky. I want to just read you some. I'm not going to tell you the stats of each team, but I'm just read you this first stat line, and you tell me who you think won. 5-11 on third downs, 0-2 on fourth downs, 4 penalties, 21 yards, committed 0 turnovers, possessed the ball for 33 minutes, 4 seconds. On defense, they had 2 sacks and 5 tackles for loss. On the other side, you have the team that was 6-13 on third downs. 9 penalties for 70 yards, 0 turnovers, and 26 minutes and 56 seconds with the possession of the ball. Now, without me telling you which team is which, who do you think won the game?
The second team.
The second team.
I don't know who those stats are, but yeah.
Why would you say the second team?
You said they didn't have any any turnovers, right? And
neither team had any turnovers. The first stat line I read you, they had 4 penalties for 21 yards. The second stat line, they had 9 penalties for 70 yards.
Oh, I got that flipped. Yeah, okay, my bad. Yeah, I would take the first team. But I don't know. Things are weird. Football's weird.
So Football is weird, and let me tell you, it is weird because the first team lost. All right, so Kentucky went 5-11 on third downs, 0-2 fourth downs. Devin Leary was 28 for 39. He had a 72% completion rate. Passed 372 yards through the air for 2 touchdowns.
Man was slinging it.
Now Tennessee on the other side. Tennessee 6-13 third downs. Joe Milton was 18 for 21, 86% completion rate, 228 yards through the air. And they held the ball for only 26 minutes, 56 seconds of the game. The difference maker of this game is I'm going to read you this. Tennessee won the game basically because they dominated the line of scrimmage, just like every SEC team that gets a win in and out every week. This is Ray Davis' last 4 game stats. He had the big game against Florida. He had 26 carries, 280 yards. Georgia, 15 carries, 59 yards. Mizzou, 20 carries, 128 yards. Tennessee, 16 carries, 52 yards. Kentucky couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, I mean that's why he's throwing the ball like that game, because 42 yards is crazy with 16 carries. Man, Tennessee was on him. They was not letting him do anything. And then on the flip side, they was running the ball like crazy. This dude had 120 yards. Right? And then he had 11 carries, and then Samson had 17, 75. They were dominating. Kentucky still made a game though. I give it to them. Larry was out there falling, but I mean, Tennessee still found a way to pull it out. So kudos to them.
I still find it just inconsistent defensive line, offensive line play, especially when you're in the SEC, right? Like Kentucky up front was so well. They did so well against Florida, right? And we were like, okay, that's a good take going into next week. They play Georgia. Georgia dominated. You know, they are the 2-time defending champs. They dominated. You say, okay, let's go to the next week. Let's bounce back. You go to Missouri. You lose still, but 20 carries, 128 yards. You were still to gain some type of confidence in your running game, right? So you come in this game and you're at home, right? You're at home. You're in your home crowd. Stadium's going crazy. And you're telling me Ryan Davis only rushes for 52 yards and that your offensive line couldn't push around Tennessee's defensive line? They're that good? We're talking about the same defense that, you know, held Alabama to 7 points in the first half last week or the week before.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm skeptical about that, but it was an overall good game, and I'm excited to see how this SEC West plays out because it could go either way. It could really go either way. Alabama had an off week. LSU had a off week, and they play each other next week.
But they're about to play soon.
Yeah, but you know we'll get into that, you know, at the end of the podcast. But just my overall takes. I think Joe Milton and Tennessee they got a good win. Kentucky's gonna have to go back to the drawing board. They're gonna have to figure out different schemes and different ways to get that running game in tip-top shape, because
for sure,
I don't think Devin Leary is going to be able to pass for 39 or pass for 372 yards for the rest of the year.
I believe that. I mean, even when he was at NC State, he was doing pretty well pass game. But once you have a running back like that, I feel like, because I mean, 42 yards off of 16 carries is averaging 2.6 yards a carry. Like, they got to fix that immediately going into next week, because that's not going to cut it, especially in the SEC. So hopefully they figure it out this week and get it going for next.
Yeah, hopefully they do. We'll see. going into the this SEC. The end of the November's going to be crazy. Just November's going to be a crazy month for college football, and I'm just excited to see if everybody can put everything together because it is week 9. We going into week 10.
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's right.
There's no more room for mental mistakes. There's no more room for you not having the coaches not having the best game plan, set forth for their team to win. So we'll go ahead and put them on the lookout because you got to win 60 games to be bowl eligible, and it's getting crunch time for a lot of these teams, But let's pivot into the to the Pac-12. So, tell me how you felt about the Oregon State and Arizona game.
It was a game. I'll tell you that. It was the games of all time. Oregon State, they were playing well. I mean, but Arizona was just firing back every time. It was something. That's all I have to say about it. I didn't really. It wasn't like a crazy game, but it was just back and forth here and there. And I really didn't think Oregon State was going to lose that game at all. Arizona, that was crazy. I mean, it's not like Arizona's a bad team or anything, but just Oregon State's just been really good this year and been playing well, and they just couldn't pull it out this week. I don't know.
I think it's so unfortunate that the Pac-12 is, not going to be a conference next year because they've had so many great games. You've had the Washington against Oregon, the Washington against Oregon. You had this game, Oregon against Arizona. You had the Arizona State game against Colorado, Colorado game against Stanford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though some people may be like, oh, I don't want to stay up and watch a game starting at 10 o'clock. I do. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be dedicated to watch college football all day, I'm seeing it all the way through.
Yeah.
If I got to stay up and watch Colorado at 2 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, wherever.
All right, 4 o'clock is kind of crazy, though.
Yeah, 4 o'clock gets kind of pushed. It is kind of crazy. But, from this takeaway from my game, DJ, the quarterback for Oregon State, and that offensive line.
Say his last name.
I can't. That's why I put these. It's like Ingadala or something like that. But however, I do know Fafita. I practice that. I practice Fafita for Arizona, but the last name for DJ is way too. I'm gonna have to practice that for next time. But that offensive line in him probably one of the best in the Pac-12. If their pass protection and their run blocking, if it's clicking on all cylinders, they're probably one of the best teams in the Pac-12. However, throughout the whole night for me, just looking at the game, like there were ups and downs in the passing game. DJ was 16 for 30, only 218 yards through the air. Like it just that's not consistent to me. I mean, if you would have been like 20 for 30, you know what I mean? I could have looked at it a different way, but 16 for 30, and I think the pressure got to him. But like I've told people on Twitter, Fafita is him. Fafita is that guy. 25 for 32, 275 yards through the air. There was no answer for him in the second half from Oregon State's defense. And I'm excited for Arizona because they're only one win away from being bowl eligible, and the remaining people on their schedule, I think they can get a game or two out of this. They got UCLA, they got Colorado, Utah, and then Arizona State. I don't see them winning all those games, but if Fafita and the Wildcats, keep this up, I'm on the train for sure. I'm letting you know I'm on the Arizona Wildcats train. I'm all aboard. I got my ticket. I'm sitting there. And to be honest with you, I think they're going to absolutely destroy Colorado. I just want to let the people know that right now.
Dang.
And yeah, they're going to absolutely destroy Colorado because We'll end that on there with Arizona. I think they're going to be great. I think they're going to be bowl eligible. But we do have to talk about Colorado, James. We have to talk about this. And I'm going to take some time to talk about this because I want to understand, right? When you said you were bringing Louis, you feel me? You said you were bringing Louis to Colorado. Was that just the duffel, or was that like the suitcase and everything? You know what I mean? Because I've only seen a couple Louis players. The other ones kind of been like what's where everybody bought the fake Louis from? You know, the I can't even think about the site, you know.
Oh yeah.
But it's Travis Hunter is one of the greatest players to probably play both ways. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody else on that team has work to do. And I'm going to say this right now. If I'm Shedeur, I am never letting an offensive lineman even smile. Because there's no way, James, I watched the game.
Yeah.
When they snapped the ball, 1,000, 1,000, they were already back there. There's an offensive line that plays for Duncanville that can probably block better than that.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Like, was that the fake Louis that got in the real Louis bag to come? Because
I don't know. It might be some of them Colorado players from last year. That's for all I know. Because I mean, that man has no time. He was running for his life. No kind of time. They got to figure something out to help him out. I mean, they started off the season well. Now we're what? Did you say week 9 or something like that? And
we're going into week 10.
And they're 4-4. I feel like these type of games like this, they should be pulling them out and not blowing leads like against the who were they? Stanford.
Yeah.
And then they could have beat UCLA. They really could have. But I mean, defense can't stop anything. Offensive line is just atrocious. It's just, I don't know. Only bright side of this team that I see right now is Shadir and Travis. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. They're not performing like you would expect them to be performing. You know what I mean? Like all these transfers and everything. I don't know. They're just not performing out there as the way they should.
And I think maybe that's why they were transfers, because where they weren't performing, and then they were like, okay, well, let's go play for Dion, and then they're kind of like, all right, well, this is okay, you know, I'm getting the hype, I'm getting the views or whatever. Yeah. But for me, like I can tell during the bye week, practice was physical. You know what I mean? They were hitting. Oklahoma drills were happening. Prime was mad that 29-0, you let them come back.
Yeah.
The defense called. I don't understand how you lose a game and you won the turnover margin. The defense of Colorado caused 4 turnovers. Out of those four turnovers, they didn't convert any points off the 4 turnovers. Shiloh gets ejected for one of the turnovers for the targeting. Now, mind you, it's a 50-50 call with me because he did lean in with his shoulder, but it's the way that he lunged. Yeah, right. It's the way that he lunged in with his shoulder, and like you can see he hit him, but his head kind of like does a jerk motion. And I think every time they're just gonna call that, and I hate that rule, but it's for the safety of both the offense and defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so for sure. That one was a 50-50. That one was super close. Personally for me, I didn't think it was. That's just me. Because like you said, the head jerk they're gonna call for the safety of the player, and the dude he what's it called? He took a minute to get up too. So I mean he could have got a little bit under there, but for me I thought it was just it wasn't targeting. But that's why I'm not a ref, because I'm not gonna call it.
Probably would have called it, not to be honest. I would have called it. I would have reviewed it, and I would have been like, "Hey, bro, come over here. Like, come to the screen real quick. Like, you see that? Like, I have to call that. You feel me? I know y'all gonna lose anyway. You feel me? Let's just keep it $1.50. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna lose anyway. But like this is I gotta call this one. Next time, just a little lower. You know, little under. Get under the the nitty gritty of the shoulder pads, and then I can let that go. You know, but
yeah.
I don't think they're gonna win it. I don't think they're gonna be bowl eligible.
Oh, really?
No, they got to win 6 games. They're 4-4.
How many games they got left? They got Oregon State next week.
That's an L.
I mean, Oregon State lost to Arizona, and then they got Arizona, Washington State, and Utah.
Okay, get this. But get this. Oregon State, you just go game by game, right? Oregon State, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's their strength? Their running game. Martinez is going to go for probably 200 yards. And they're physical. They have the best. I just said they got the best offensive line in the Pac-12. All right. You said 2. Who was next?
Arizona.
Fafita. It's passing like crazy. Now listen.
Fafita.
It's crazy, man. Their run game is okay. Their defense is really, I don't want to say the best, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst. And they're gonna look at all the teams. Yeah, it's a defense. You feel me? It's a defense, and they're gonna look at what every team has done before Colorado, and they're gonna be like, "All right, let's just do the same thing." Like they're not gonna be able to stop it.
Yeah.
If I was a defensive coordinator and I had a Colorado on my schedule, I'm looking at everybody. If you want to get in the NFL draft, this is the highlight reel that I'm sending right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do every move you can. Do all the Madden tricks, because at this point they can't stop you. Yeah. There's no way they're stopping you. Who's next after there? Washington State?
Washington State.
Yeah, Cameron Ward will probably throw 400 yards. They got a good their wide receivers is I think one of the wide receivers, I can't remember his name. It's like Lard or something like that. Allow him and Travis Hunter will be a good matchup. I'm ready to see that. That would be good. That'll be good. And what's the last one?
Utah.
The pig farmer is going to be slaughtering some I'm just telling you right now, the pig farmer, he didn't have a good game against Oregon, but I'm telling you right now, he can run. Utah probably has the best defense in the Pac-12. That kind of got exposed because they went against the best offense in the Pac-12, which was Oregon. But let's just what are they? So what are they? They'll be what?
They're 4-4 right. 4-4 right now. So you think what? They're gonna win one of these games?
No, I don't think they're gonna win.
You're gonna win any of these games?
No.
All right.
So they'll be what, 4-8?
Yep.
4-8, not bowl eligible. We go into next year. I'm telling you right now, I'm scrapping the whole offensive line, bro. I'm going to find
defense too, except for Travis. Everybody else is
expendable. I'm not scrapping. They're expendable. I'm not scrapping them, but for sure, I'm scrapping the offensive line. I'm telling you, right, I'm looking at everybody dead in the eye. You guys will be playing football in Pelican Bay if it was up to me. You know what I mean? Because there's no way, man. No way y'all practice and you know what? Maybe it's a coach thing. Maybe I'm giving the players too much. Maybe I'm not giving them enough grace. Maybe it's with their coach, like they're not getting the right schemes, the best blocking packages. I don't know, because that coaching staff is brand new with each other. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So maybe they're not connecting with any two. But let me say this: everybody thought they were only going to win what, 2 games, 1 game. Yeah, they won 4. I'm patting that on the back. I'm counting that as a dub. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's get it together. Let's get 6 wins next year. I'm good with 6. We get 6 wins next year. We go to a bowl next year. I'm fine with that. The year after that, we need to be competing for a Big 12 championship. All right. Going to the Big 12.
I think they're gonna win at least 3 of these games. I say they beat Arizona, Washington State, and Utah. All right. I mean, it's going to be shootouts, but I think they'll win those 3 games.
You know what, James?
So what's that give them? What, 7-5?
If they go to a bowl game, all right. If they go to a bowl game, I don't know what I would do. I'm gonna let you know. I'm watching the bowl. I'm taking off of work for sure. But there's you know what? If they go to a bowl game, if Colorado goes to a bowl game, I'll buy you a Colorado jersey and I'll send it to you.
Why do I need a Colorado jersey?
Or I'll send one of the people that listen to the podcast, our followers that listen to the podcast.
Colorado jersey?
A Colorado jersey. We'll just pick random give them a Colorado jersey because I'm telling you, there's no way they're winning 6 games.
7-5.
7-5.
7-5 end of the season.
7-5 in the season, and
that's my pick. That's my over right there. 7-5.
That's your over?
Yep, 7-5.
Yeah, my under is it's done. It's a wrap. You feel me? 4-8. 4-8.
You gotta believe in them.
I did believe in them. I believe they were going to beat TCU. They did that. I stayed up for the Colorado State game, right? And I was up all night for that game, and I believed that. I knew Nebraska was it was a tough fight, right? And then who else did they win? Who was the win after that?
They got smacked by Oregon.
Absolutely.
They lost by a touchdown to USC. So it was TCU, Nebraska, Colorado State, and then the next win is Arizona State.
And they barely won that game in overtime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, but we're gonna put up the watch. We're gonna shine on them as always, and we're gonna hope for the best going forward. But I can't say the best going forward for who I think is the most overrated Heisman candidate.
Oh my goodness.
Ever. Now, hear me out, James. Your boy Drake Maye threw for more than 50%. I can tell you that. He threw for more than 50%. And he held this team together. But since this is your man's, I'm gonna let you tell it.
My man's?
Yeah, let me know how you feel. Let me know how you feel.
I think he played well. I mean, it's a team sport, but he played his ass off. I mean, 310 for 2 touchdowns and everything, but Georgia Tech was firing on all six. King over here threw 4 touchdowns. Man, what's his name? Smith, 22 carries for 178. Singleton Jr., 8 catches for 117. It was a fight. I mean, UNC went up 21-7 in the second quarter or something. I thought it was about to be a run. And then I guess Georgia Tech just woke up and it was a shootout after that. And kudos to them, man, because I did not think this was going to be a game at all. I thought it was a wrap in the second quarter. But don't come for Drake Maye, bro. Like, he played back. I know he threw that pick, but hey, he made up for it this week. He even had a rushing touchdown, 10 carries for 58 yards, bro. Like
oh my gosh.
Are you saying he's a fraud? Like, nah. Come on.
He is a fraud.
You better go keep that with your man's. This man's over here playing.
Hey, man. Hey. Look. Let me tell you, right?
What?
You got the thing I'm gonna say. What you mentioned, Eric Singleton Jr., 8 catches, 170 yards. He's only a freshman. He's gonna be nice. Marvin Harrison's leaving probably after this year. I think Eric Singleton's probably gonna take that wide receiver stardom because he's really overlooked by Harrison, and you got the guys from LSU. I'm not particular name, the couple of wide receivers from Washington. But I'm just tell you what I saw from the game, right? When I looked at the game and reviewed it, this is what I saw, right? I saw North Carolina was rolling. I give you that. They were rolling. Hampton was getting to the second level of the Georgia Tech defense, right?
Yep.
May was actually looking like a Heisman candidate.
He always does.
No, he doesn't. Last week he lost a 1-6 Virginia, 1-5 Virginia. He wasn't looking nice.
Okay. All right, bro. Like he still threw for what, like 3. Sorry, go ahead.
But wait. Their defense was getting 3 and outs. They were stopping Georgia Tech. Like Georgia Tech went for it on 4th down twice. They didn't convert. But what happened and what I don't know if you saw in this game, was Hayne Kings and Georgia Tech put a drive together after they had not converted, right? And they looked deep down into their souls, and they looked at them and they said, if you're the 17th best team in the country, and last week was a fluke, you're going to have to prove it. We're going to go to a shootout, right? Because in the last 5 meetings, we have beat you. The last 5 times that your team and my team have stepped on this floor, we have beat you. All right? And like you said, 4 touchdowns, he is a baller. But here's my takeaway from why I think North Carolina lost this game, right? One, their defensive line needs to run gassers every day after practice. Because come the fourth quarter, looking at their defensive line, they were tired is not even the word. They were just ridiculous. It was pancake, IHOP, pancake. It was like IHOP out there. They were having all you can eat pancakes on the North Carolina defensive line, right? Georgia Tech rushed for 348 yards. They were gassed. You know what I mean? They were gassed. You could drive a car through the hole that they were creating. 2, the missed field goal in the fourth quarter, that was crucial.
Yeah.
That changed the momentum of the game a little bit in the fourth quarter, right? And I think I texted you this when it happened, but the fumble by Tez Walker when he got smacked by Harvey from Georgia Tech, that was it. Once that happened, because it was 3rd and 17, there were 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Yeah, It was 3rd and 17. Drake Maye escaped some pressure, stayed in the pocket, made a great throw.
Composed.
Finally. You feel me?
Oh, okay.
Finally, But once that fumble happened, I was just like, yeah, it's a wrap. Because I knew that your defensive line has been gassed all game. All they got to do is just run the ball. Mm-hmm. They got to get one first down, really, or 2, because you used all your timeouts. Once those timeouts were done, I was like, okay, it's over there. It was a well-deserved win for the Yellow Jackets. Going forward, the ACC is going to look crazy because it's looking like Virginia Tech could go play Florida State in the ACC now. Duke lost. Damn. Louisville lost last week to Notre Dame. Florida State won this week. Virginia Tech won. It's just it's looking crazy.
Up in the air.
It's up in the air. It's going to be like, what's going to be crazy is USC is going to win all their games, and you're going to want Washington to go. You're going to go Washington.
USC is going to win all their games. It's hilarious.
You're going to go want Washington to go to the Pac-12, and it's going to be a 9-2 USC going to play a 9-2 Oregon to see who goes to the championship for the Pac-12.
Man, they're going to lose next week.
To who?
To Washington.
Have you seen how Washington has played these last 2 games?
Never mind. I'm not even going to speak on this dude because he had a good week this week.
What you mean? Now look, to be honest with you, I know we're kind of first. Let me give Yellow Jackets. You had a great game, right? But listen, you said he wasn't him. You said Caleb Williams wasn't him.
He's not.
He is. His defense is ass. His defense is ass.
Did he play a top 25 team this week? No.
Okay.
And that's why he threw for 369. Wow. And they still almost lost.
Yeah, they did. But look, he had to win the game though. He had to win. They had to score, right?
I gotta give you that stat again of him against top 20.
But hey, what happened though? They got Lloyd back. Lloyd came back, and Lloyd's been running the ball well, so they kind of gets pressure off of Caleb. He didn't have that before. It was just, I'm Caleb, I'm him. They got to mind you, it was crazy how it talks so bad about the defense of USC, but the offensive line is kind of shaky. The offensive line and Caleb just got an NIL deal with Postmates. And I'm just like, hey, At this point, I just need to go put on some pads, you feel me, and just go ahead and pull. And I just need the NIL deal with Uber. You feel me? I can get to you quick at that
for the
point.
one time.
For the one time, just let me go get my little NIL deal for the one time, right?
But look at these next games, bro. Washington, number 5 Washington, number 6 Oregon, and number 20 UCLA. And Caleb Williams cannot play for the sake of his life against top 25 teams. This man will throw for 200 yards and 0 touchdowns and maybe one.
You said Washington, right?
Yeah, Washington next week.
Shootout. Okay, the next one. What's after that?
Oregon.
L, because Oregon's just tough. And the third?
UCLA.
Okay, so they go 2-1. They beat Washington.
They go 0-3.
They beat Washington. They lose to Oregon, and they beat UCLA. And then it's going to be Oregon, and it's going to be UCLA or USC in the Pac-12 championship. And USC is going to figure it out the way because Caleb Williams is going to be like, I have to remind you, I'm him, right? I'm him. And it's a neutral field. It's not no home field
That's
advantage.
Fine.
It's a neutral. I think it's in Las Vegas, actually. It's a neutral field.
That doesn't matter, bro. He is garbage against top 25 teams, bro. He is not going to show up. He is not him, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to give you this again. Versus top 25. Completion percentage, 51%. Pass yards, 172. TD to interception, 6-6. Against top 25 teams. And who left? Top 25 teams. This man is shit himself, and he gonna go 0-3. And that's your king, though. That's your guy. That's your Heisman winner or whatever. Whatever, bro.
Listen,
that man is not that good.
Listen, I know you say he may not be that good, but listen, if you say that's my king, I want you to remember in Black Panther, T'Challa came back. You feel me? T'Challa came back. He came back, and he put up a fight. And he was like, look, like, we can both run this. We can both run this, but this is my kingdom. I built this. We don't have to go out like this. And it didn't end well for other buddy. And T'Challa ended up dying, but he left a son. You know what I mean? Caleb Williams don't have a son. But god dang, I'm telling you right now, man, I'm not betting against him. And he gonna figure it out.
I'm gonna bet against him.
You gonna bet against him? He gonna figure it out. I need to see what the money line is for the Oregon or for the Washington USC game. I might just throw 100 on there. Because I might just throw 100
I didn't even look at it.
Because I'm telling you right now, or I may do a prop because I don't think for sure, I'll do a prop. I bet Penix throws 2 picks. Even though how bad that USC defense is, he'll throw 2 picks and it'll be a game. If it goes to overtime, Caleb's winning. If it doesn't go to overtime, it's a coin flip. But if it goes to overtime, Caleb's winning. I need to see what his record is in overtime because I don't think he's lost a game in overtime. No matter if it's a top 25 team or not, like y'all say. I don't think he's lost a game in overtime.
Whatever you say, bro. Whatever you say. We're going to see you next week, and I hope he loses.
Speaking, you hating on Caleb Williams. I'm going to just go ahead and, let this ring. Oh, you lost. The Boomers, Sooners, the ones that got tattoos of the Longhorn upside down, but when you look at it, it's like the Longhorn you look at. Yeah. The ones that had a hiccup against UCF last week and barely made it through. The fan base that said, oh, well, Texas beat Kansas because they had a backup quarterback. We're going to go in here and embarrass Kansas. I don't know if you knew, but Jay Bean, track star. He's a runner. He's a track star. You feel me? A track star. This game looked like Oklahoma's defense was still hungover from Texas in the UCF game. They thought the Kansas backup was just going to be a walk in the park. And I'm going to be honest with you. He didn't have the best game.
I'm about to say, yeah, he didn't play that good.
He didn't play that good, but the explosive plays that they had, like when he had the run for 62 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, he had 4 carries for 62 yards, but he had a run in the third quarter where it was RPO and he just took off to the right side. Nobody was going to catch him when he got to the goal line and did that little track finish.
Yeah.
Listen, when I saw that, I said, "Oh, it's shaky right now. It's shaky right now."
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel is going to have to be him because Stoops, Anderson. I don't, bro. Where is Farouk? What is his name? Farouk? I'm sorry,
Farouk. It's Farouk, I believe.
Where is Farouk?
They only threw to him 3 times. I mean, he only got 3 catches. I mean, they didn't even throw, what's it called? 19 attempts and for 171 yards. They didn't even try to throw the ball that much. And
they ran the ball well though.
Yeah, they ran the ball really well. I mean, I feel like that's their bread and butter. And they just started throwing the ball until they were down in really throwing it. It bit them in the ass. I feel like I mean, they're good at the run too, but I feel like they thrive with just fast tempo and just slinging it everywhere, you know. And that wasn't there against Kansas. I don't know if it was just a game plan against this team or what it was, but they changed it up.
They had 11 penalties for 101 yards.
Damn.
3rd and goal on the 1 yard line. Kansas is trying to score. The quarterback, Jay Bean from Kansas, he carries the ball. He tries to get into the end zone. He tries to slide into the end zone, which once you start sliding, that's where they mark the spot. Mm-hmm. He slides on the 1 yard line. Oklahoma hits him, right? They go to review the play of, okay, did he get into the end zone? Did he slide? And they go to review the play like, oh, well, that's targeting. So, no, he didn't get in the end zone, but you got a targeting. You're out of the game, and they get a new set of downs. The first play, Neal gets the ball. They run in. They score. I'm just like, as you know, and I'm a big Texas fan, and I don't try to have bias on this podcast, but it felt great. I'm not going to lie to you. It felt great. It felt great. And I was like, the offense committed a lot of mistakes on Kansas' part, but the big plays turned into touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they flat out won that game. Took the goalpost down.
Yeah, but threw it in that lake or whatever.
Now, listen, if it was me, right, I would keep it in the lake. And everybody that comes to, like, maybe you recruit or just like a recruiting tactic, be like, hey, you see that lake right there? You see that goalpost? That's how we beat Oklahoma right there. Because they hadn't beat Oklahoma like 1997.
I'll take both goalposts at that point. Both of them got to come. I'm setting the town on fire.
1997. You've been running the table since the 90s? It's 2023, and they like, what a backup quarterback at that, right? You didn't even get the best quarterback, right? What a backup quarterback at that, and was like, yeah, and listen, you had a game delay. You was down in the game delay at that. They had all the momentum. The game delay happens. You kick the ball off. They fumble on the kickoff. You get the ball, right? And you still lose the game? Because you had so many penalties that you were getting bad field position and ended up in 3rd and long situations. Listen, they got to go to Oklahoma State next week.
I see them losing. I can see them losing.
Yes. Shoemaker is him. Finally.
Finally. Finally.
Because I've been having Shoemaker on my prop bets. He's him. Shoemaker is him. And they gotta go to Oklahoma State.
I mean, they're still in Oklahoma, so I mean, it ain't too bad. But I get what you're saying.
You gotta, and then after that they play. I'm not even sure who they play after that. I just know Oklahoma State.
Let me see real quick. They got OK State. Oh, it's West Virginia. BYU, and then TCU.
Okay, so let's just throw the scenario. Okay, so Texas has Kansas State next week, which I'm really worried about, and we'll get on Malik Murphy in Texas after this. But jeez, I don't know. Oklahoma, they're gonna lose to Oklahoma State. West Virginia, if West Virginia plays a good game, they could lose that one, but I don't see. So they're 1-1 now. And then you said they play
BYU and TCU.
They'll beat BYU and they'll beat TCU.
Yeah.
Now that makes them a 2-team loss in the Big 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Texas loses to Kansas State and then wins out the rest of the year, that makes them a 2-team win-loss also. So just to throw a scenario out here, who are you taking? Are you taking a Pac-12 team 2 losses, or are you taking a Big 12 with 2 losses? Mind you, Texas' best win is Alabama. Oklahoma best win would be Texas. Washington's best win would be Oregon. And then Oregon's best win, if they do go to the Pac-12 championship and beat Washington, will be Washington. But if not, then it would be Utah.
I think I would take a Pac-12 team, just because I feel like it's been more competitive up there compared to what some of these Big 12 teams have played. They usually do. They play down to their level. They don't perform like they should be performing. What's it called? Oklahoma, the past 2 weeks, they've been playing down to their opponents, and luckily they pulled one out. But then this week, look what happened. So yeah, I would just take a Pac-12 team. I feel like that's more competitive up there, and they come to play every week. And if they got to beat somebody, they're gonna beat them. They're not gonna lose to someone, I hate to say it, but like lesser than them, lesser team. And these teams in the Big 12, they suffer with that a lot, and I don't think it'd be a great pick to go into bowl season or whatever. But hey, that's just me. I don't know anything about anything, so yeah, don't take my word for it.
I think,
but I am 9-1. Just understand that. So
yes, you're 9-1. I'm 7-3. We that's just the first stat, right? Next year, when we start off in week 1, I promise you, I'm gonna be over 500. I may be damn near 900 on my picks. Now, so Tuesday they come out with the first playoff rankings. It's on Halloween night, which will be kind of crazy that they're doing it, but that's just how the dates fall.
Yeah.
But just to convert back to the Big 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about Texas. My view from the game was Malik Murphy had to settle in. They didn't ask him to do too much, right? Because you still had Worthy as a playmaker. You had I always forget his name, the running back that I said needed more carries last week. Brooks, yes. And he got him because he had to have him, right? He had to have him. But what I like about Malik is, like, even before the first place started, he was hyping up the crowd. He was ready. He was like, this is my shot. This is what I need to do, right? First pass, get it out of there, boom. All right. We threw our first interception, all right? He floated that ball. I don't know. He floated the ball I don't know if he didn't see the guy. It was a miscommunication, but it was just like, hey, take the ball. Here you go. Don't worry about it. Give me back next time, all right? Just give it back to us next time, right? And then he had a fumble, which he should have felt the presence from that pressure, but again, it's a two-way street. Offensive line should have blocked better, but I'm gonna still put it on him, right? But after that, he kind of settled in. The running game was did well. The defensive line of Texas, you got Big Sweat up there. It's crazy, right? It's defense played a hell of a game. Special teams did well. They didn't ask Malik to do too much. Sarge at the end of the game was saying, like he had to settle in, but we got some things to work on because he knows Kansas State is him.
It's a little scary over there.
It's a little spooky over there in Kansas State. You know what I mean? It's not all dandelions over there. It's a little spooky. It gets a little crazy. But overall, I was happy with the performance. I just showed up to work, and I'm like, I have my door open. I got the radio or the Hulu blasted on my radio, Bluetooth. I'm just listening to it. I'm like, I'm about to just go ahead and take an hour break because I'm about to watch this
hour break.
Yeah, I'm only supposed to get like a 15-minute break. I'm like, I'm about to go ahead and take a whole hour, listen to this. It's gonna rain anyway tonight. I'm gonna just be chilling. But
be honest with you, bro, I didn't watch this game because I was nervous that this was not gonna be a good game. But hey, they pulled it out, blew them out. I thought I picked them to. I thought it was gonna be a way closer game. And hey, I'm glad they proved me wrong, and it was just a blow because I was a little scared about this game because I didn't know how he was gonna perform, but he played well. And now next week we're gonna see. That's where it gets a little spicy. At Kansas State. I still think they're gonna win, but hey, I think it's gonna be a close one.
If Murphy plays well. If special team the defense has to hold Weaver, the running back or the quarterback from Kansas.
Mm.
If they hold him, I think we have a good chance to win. Soundly, we have a good chance to win. If they don't, and we got to go into overtime, I don't think I could trust Malik Murphy in overtime to get the job done. And I'm off this weekend. All right. I already told my wife, I'm like, look, we're going to Texas Live for the Texas game. We're going to Heroes for the Alabama LSU game. And after that, I got to come home. And if Alabama wins and Texas win, it was a good day. It's a good day for me. If Texas loses, don't talk to me for the rest of the day.
Don't talk to me.
It's gonna be bad because I'm gonna be highly upset. But good win for the Longhorns. We'll see how next week goes. But just to wrap up this episode, tell me the top takeaway, like the team that showed you a lot, the player that showed you a lot. What do you think? Who are you giving a star to in the helmet?
Like my player of the week or whatever?
Yeah, the player of the week, or who are you giving a star to or a skull on their helmet, or the team?
What's it called? What's this? The dude from Kentucky, Leary. Even though they lost, man was balling out, giving them every opportunity to win that game. Like I said earlier, 372 yards, touchdowns. Boy, that man was slinging that thing. I'm giving him the starter this week. Even though they lost, I'm still giving it to
him. We didn't talk about this team, but I'm going to give them my star. The James Madison, baby. They still undefeated, They still undefeated. The second year in the FBS, and still undefeated. Came up in the AP rankings, right? I'm rolling with it. But on a serious note, though, I am going to give Hank Kings. Sorry, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. The Georgia Tech
quarterback.
Yeah, the Georgia Tech quarterback. I'm gonna give him my helmet, sticker on his helmet because he's a dog. He is a dog.
How many though for 4 touchdowns?
4 touchdowns, 348 yards, I believe.
Sheesh, goodness.
Yeah. Oh no, 377 yards, 22 for 30, 4 touchdowns, and he rushed. I think he had almost not over 100 yards, but 50 yards rushing.
Mm.
So I'm definitely giving the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and Haynes my my helmet because once again they knocked off the frauds and Drake Maye is a fraud. And hopefully you see that as we continue.
All right.
You know they're gonna lose to North Carolina State too, right? We didn't even talk about Clemson, right? Because I don't even want to talk about Clemson.
Man,
Because
they done.
At this point, to be 4-4 and you had one of the best probably teams the last 6 years. It's time for Dabo to get with the times. Get your NIL money together.
Mm-hmm.
Get the transfer team together. Get the recruiting together, and let's get on a roll. You don't have a quarterback to bail you out anymore. You don't have a Deshaun Watson. I don't remember the other guy's name, but you don't have Sunshine. You don't have Sunshine. I used to call him Sunshine. You don't have Sunshine to ball you out anymore. Get your NIL money together. Get the transfer portal rocking, and get with the times. Because no one's going to hold your hand and bring it and tell you, hey, this is what you need to start doing. Right?
Yeah. Man. You said it well, because that man, he needs to figure it out, because they're just going to keep on losing. And then plus just throwing your quarterback under the bus, calling him out. I mean, he should have given the ball, but damn, like in the interview and everything, yeah, it wasn't no what's called RPO. I wanted him to handle the ball. You got to do what I say or whatever. Man.
Hey, but you know what?
Losing what's it called? Your quarterback right there.
But you know what? As you can see, like when that happens in the NFL, no one says nothing, right? And then when it didn't used to happen in college, but now you got players being paid, right? And I think that's going to transfer the more as we get into this NIL and they're looking at player as employees or being paid as NFL. Throwing you on the bus, get with it. It's media, right? Like USC, the coach didn't allow them last game to go to the media. Come next year, I don't think that's going to be an option.
Yeah,
Postmates is paying you, Caleb, and the offensive line. I got 8 seats with mics. I need you to get up here and I need you to tell me what the hell went wrong. Why can't you protect Caleb Williams? And why am I paying you $2 million a year for Postmates for the NIL and you can't protect the quarterback? Because if he get hurt, then I got to report to somebody on my marketing team what the hell is going on and why did I pick? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we'll see what happens, but overall it was a great week and I'm excited for next week. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for next week because it's going to be great.
What are the picks for this week? I mean, for next week.
The picks. Okay, look, we need to put a chart because I think you kind of cheated me last week.
All right.
I don't remember but, so, all right, Alabama. Jesus, listen, man. Alabama was like down 21 to Tennessee, right? To Joe Milton.
Yeah. And
Joe Milton's no Daniels. Joe Milton is bottom tier compared to Daniels. All right. Mm-hmm. However, LSU secondary is probably worse than Colorado's. Let's keep it a buck. All right. If Colorado and LSU secondary had like to limbo, they'd be like right there, right? I don't think they're even good at all. So listen, if I'm gonna go Alabama because I'm not going against Nick Saban, right? I think he's a great coach.
Do it.
That dynasty's there. I can't go. I think he's gonna scheme up. Whoa. Chill. Right. So I'm gonna go with Alabama on that one. I say Alabama wins by 3.
All right. I got LSU by 14.
By 14?
This man is gonna throw for like 400 yards and like 3 or 4 touchdowns. I don't care if it's Alabama, what's it called? The Kansas City Chiefs, whoever it is. I think they're playing it and LSU.
Okay. Well, first game we already got some controversy. Colorado versus Oregon State. Yeah. I want you to go ahead and say Colorado. I want you to go ahead and say yeah. You've been thinking about that ever since I've been throwing out these stats, though. I want you to go ahead and say Colorado.
I'm gonna say Colorado. I stand on business. I'm gonna take them. I talking all that hot shit.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Okay. Listen. You say you were standing on business, but when you standing on a business that's failing, you know what I mean? It's like you're sinking in the swamp. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick them Beavers because they're gonna build a dam and make sure nothing is coming through. So I got Oregon State plus 21. So I'm taking that. Who you got? Washington USC.
Washington, of course. It's USC, bro. Like, what you mean?
This is gonna be a good week because we're definitely opposites on a lot of these things. This is gonna be a good. Either my record is gonna be shit, right, or we're gonna be looking a little bit even going into week 11.
I ain't even worried. Not even worried.
Penn State versus Maryland.
Oh, Penn State. I'll take Penn State.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Penn State, even though they look like absolute cheese this week. I'm gonna still take Penn State. Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State.
I'm gonna take Oklahoma State.
Yeah, welcome to the dark side. You feel me? I'm telling you, Shoemaker gonna do you well. Shoemaker will do you well. So we can take OK State on that one. Georgia versus Missouri.
I'm taking Georgia, but I think Missouri will give them a little game. Just not a big one, but just a small little game.
Nah, I think the Bulldogs are going to run over everybody until they get to the playoffs, to be honest with you. Till they get to the playoffs, I think they're just going to keep running over everybody. Or till they get to Atlanta where they got to play Alabama. And Nick Saban got to remind Kirby Smart who daddy is.
All right. Anyways.
Oh, this is a good one. Notre Dame or Clemson?
I'm talking all that about Clemson.
You gonna take Clemson?
Yep, I'm gonna take Clemson. It's one of them games where I think they can still be sneaky and take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Clemson too. I don't know why. We may both lose on the game, to be honest with you, but I just don't like Notre Dame. I never will, never have. Ohio State versus Rutgers.
Ohio State. Marvin Harrison gonna have like 200 yards receiving and 85 touchdowns.
85 touchdowns. All right, you're taking Ohio State on that one. Now this one is this could go either way, right? We got Jimbo Fisher. Got to go play Ole Miss. All right. Mm-hmm. Ole Miss Rebels are ranked as number 11, I believe. Yeah, they're number 11 in AP poll. So A&M versus Ole Miss. Now, remind you, Jimbo was on the hot seat. He had to go play, or they had to play South Carolina. Spencer Rattler's ass, so they got the game. So now they got to go play Ole Miss. Must I remind you, Ole Miss is somebody that beat LSU in a cookout. I say it's a cookout. It wasn't even a shootout. It was a cookout because it lasted forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I kind of want to go A&M, but I'm gonna stick with it of my gut and just say Ole Miss.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely winning this week. I'm gonna take Jimbo.
All right.
I'm gonna take
That's
Jimbo.
fine.
The only reason I'm gonna take Jimbo is because I know that their defense is nice. They got so many defensive schemes and a good defensive line. So, All right, and last but not least, we say the best for last. Texas versus Kansas State. Listen, if you pick against my team, I need you to give me a score.
I'm taking Texas, but it's gonna be close. Just because I'm a little bit of a Texas fan, so yeah, I can't go against them. I'm gonna take Texas, but it's gonna be close. I'll tell you that. I said that last week too, and they proved me wrong. So hopefully,
I'm gonna take Texas always, but I'm taking Texas by 2. I'm not even giving them 3. By 2.
I give them a touchdown.
I'm not giving them a touchdown. I'm giving them by 2, not even 3. By 2. I don't know what's gonna happen. Something's crazy gonna happen at this game. I already know. It's on the Fox kickoff at noon.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if that goes well, I'm good through the day. If that goes bad, I gotta wait till Alabama LSU to play at 7:45 at night for my mood to be better. Because I can already tell you, and if my mood doesn't get better after that, at least I can watch Colorado lose to Oregon State at 10 o'clock.
That's crazy.
That's on ESPN, by the way, also. That's not even on the Pac-12 after dark. But we just want to thank y'all for coming out. Thank you for, dealing with us through our little technical difficulties. Technical difficulties of the first episode. I know my mic sounded like I was in the 19, I don't even know, trying to record my first podcast. But
AM radio.
AM radio. you have to do me like that. But we appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe. We do have an Instagram. On the Instagram, there's a YouTube channel, and there's an RSS channel. With the RSS channel, all you have to do is click on it, and you can listen on Spotify, Apple, Google. I got it everywhere. iHeartRadio, Pandora, wherever you listen to your podcast or your music. Just go on there, like, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. And we're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna keep giving you this great college football content. And then when it's done, we're gonna see if James knows his basketball, right? We're gonna see if James knows his basketball, because as I told you, he was the sleep picks prop expert, but I've lost every basketball prop pick.
Listen here, my picks this week was not great. I lost too many close ones, so take it with a grain of salt with my picks, bro. This week was cheeks.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I just don't know what you know what I mean?
I pick with my heart, not my head. So I'm leaving with that.
Yeah, I can see he's still picking Colorado. That's wild. But we appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for listening. This is Charles Comer signing off.
This is James. See y'all.
Peace.